Hello, Internet! It's your boy, Keebler, Gracie Women Talk Cleveland, C-L-E. I'm sitting here at the powerful Donald Park, post-seminar, pre-fuck. The seminar was super powerful. We'll get to that, but I have a question it's been burning inside me, and I need to ask, one of the smartest black belts that I even have ever heard of. I'm going to ask this man, Spider-Man, Superman, or Batman?
Serious question.
Super serious.
Serious question.
Super serious.
Alright, so we'll knock it out by the process of elimination. First of all, gotta knock Spider-Man out the box.
Woman.
Can't be a superhero without a cape. Truth be told,
Alright, word.
if you don't have the balls to wear the cape, I'm sorry, you get knocked out of the box right away. Right? Batman, Superman, age-old question, right? Batman a little darker, Superman stands for truth and justice, a little bit hard one way or the other. Down in the bottom of my soul, who am I gonna choose? I gotta choose Batman on this one. Why? Batman chose to be the way he is. Superman was born that way, right? Champions are made, they're not born. Batman is a champion. Batman all day. C-L-E. Out.
Out.
All right, we are live. I'll wait for Darren to unmute himself, and I will show him to the world. There he is.
I'm unmuted, Daddy.
There you go.
We're here. We're here, baby. Hello, Internet. It's your boy, Keebler. And who knows how much longer I'll keep that moniker, Anthony.
Oh.
Who the fuck knows? What I do know is that we're doing the podcast right now as Love and Chokes. It is I, Darren. I'm in Vegas. I'm sitting across from Anthony. In a virtual sense, we're across from one another. He's in CLE. Anthony, what it do?
Not much. Just got back from Alabama. First thing I want to say is shout out to the water donations bucket. We miss you, but you're still in our hearts forever.
Water donations bucket?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
Oh man, I gotta show it back to you. I gotta remind you of your old life. Let's see if I can show you the screen again.
My old life?
Yeah, you didn't see the water donations bucket. I gotta show it to you. Let's bring this over.
What does this have to do with my life?
Oh.
Do I forget this many things?
You don't have the balls to wear the
Water donations. Remember the gotta recall the water donations bucket.
Oh, fuck! I do recall this. Okay. So in my old academy, I provided water. And then I just had a little thing that was like, it's donation. So like, if you throw a buck in there, because I figured if the case cost me $2.50, if 2 or 3 people throw a buck in there for every fucking 30 goddamn waters, we're good.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So like, now this is hilarious, considering that like kayfabe, we discussed a few topics that were going to be discussed on this podcast today. It's hilarious that you can see that I've always had a very broken mindset for business and money.
Yeah.
Look at that example right there. Like, it's so far in the surface of the other person, so far in their interest, that I end up with nothing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's a very broken approach. It's very hippie-ish. It's very idealist. It's like, well, as long as I break even on the water, everything's good. La la la. No, bitch. That's not life. That's not life. I should have been earning on those waters, Anthony. But we live and we learn. Even if we only learn 5 years after we did that water gimmick. So that's what it does. What it does is that we're starting to learn about how money should be working in my life and how it's not working in my life. And how sick I am of that. And it's a funny time to think about that, Anthony. We opened the podcast with a video. The video features me and my first jiu-jitsu coach, who I consider a dear friend, who has been a mentor to me. His name is Donald Park, and today is his birthday. I will not age this Korean man. I will not publicly state his age. I will let you investigate if you wish. But he's a hair older than me.
Oh. I'll
say that.
I almost guessed it too.
I will say that. And that guy believed in me at a time where no one didn't. Similar to a situation I'm in now, where a person believed in me in a time where no one really did. And through each time I've disappointed that guy, his faith in me has never wavered. I sent him a text today. He sent me a text back. The last 3 words of his text to me was, "You're the man." This is a guy who, if you were to list his achievements, if I were to list to you everything that guy has done on paper, people would think I was making it the fuck up. People would think, okay, Darren, okay. Google it, nigga. Like, Google it. Don't okay me, bitch. This shit is real. And I've decided for his birthday, I'm going to give him the one thing I should have gave him fucking upwards of a decade ago. I'm going to fucking build something and be the fucking guy. That's it. No excuses, no ifs, ands, or buts. It literally starts today. It literally starts today. That's my gift to you, brother. I will build something so that I can sit next to you as a peer again. There was a time where we were on the mat. He was always dad on the mat. And then, like, there was a little brief moment where I remember rolling with him, and he was like, "Why didn't you submit me there?" It was because I didn't realize that in that moment, on the mat, not everywhere else, but on the mat, we were peers. He was no longer, like, my ultimate superior. Even if he was still better than me. It was marginal now. It was marginal. It wasn't that big of a fucking deal. I could have caught him that time. But in my mind, I was like, there's no way I earned this. He's so much better than me. It's time to boss up. It's time to boss up. And I said this to you before we went on air. And many people have said this before, but I want to assure anyone that's fucking listening. It is true, but it shouldn't have to be. The statement that desperation is stronger than inspiration is true. Don't let it come to that. Don't let it come to that. Work when you are inspired. And when you feel the inspiration like draining away from you, continue to work. Don't wait for another spike in inspiration. Don't wait for another spike in the sugar or the dopamine. Do the work when you're not high. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do the work when you're not intoxicated by awesome feelings. I'm not talking about intoxicated. I mean intoxicated by that feeling that muse comes with you. She finds you and she pushes you into the fray, and you're so happy that the muse is guiding you. But when she's not guiding you, when inspiration leaves you, you must continue to work at the same pace or even greater, or desperation will come. You don't want to see its face. You never want to meet that motherfucker. I have met desperation many times. Many times. Never has it broken me. Never has it made me anything less than what I am. It has only made me better. But it shouldn't fucking come to that, dude. It shouldn't fucking come to that. So, an advice from a motherfucker who knows what failure looks like. Someone who fucking loves each and every one of you. Not just the people who listen to this podcast, but each and every one of the people on fucking Earth. I really do love you. I wouldn't be so honest on this goddamn podcast if I didn't. I would kayfabe everything. I would be like, well, I've never fucked up in my life. No, let's talk about the news. like I wouldn't share certain things about my emotional state with you if I didn't fucking love you. I don't do it to jerk myself off. I do it because I don't want anyone to know what it is like to suffer unnecessarily. That's all. And the easiest way to do that is to learn from the mistakes of others. So I share my mistakes with you. I don't share other people's mistakes. I don't point at other people. But I will look at me on this platform and be like, I don't like this guy. This guy that is me, don't like him. Here's why. If that reminds you of you, fucking please do something about it. I don't know if I will or not. I'm not saying I will. I'm not saying I'm better than you or have a better perspective. I want you to know that you're not the only one who's fucked up. That's all. I think we can do better. I don't think we're destined to be fucked up forever. I know that I have been more fucked up than I am right now. I know that. And because I know that, I have faith that I'll be better. Because I have faith that I will be better, I have faith that you will be better. It's that simple. And that's it. All right. Anthony!
All right, guys, wrap up the episode. This was over. That's it. This is the end.
Episode over. Look.
No.
Look, I'm not going to kayfabe how I feel. I don't think it's healthy. That's why we have this fucking podcast. We have the podcast so we don't have to go crazy.
Exactly.
So there can be one space. That was why it was literally started. It was started during my PG era.
Mm-hmm.
When I was told I could not be myself anymore on the internet. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to do this podcast and you're not really going to know about it. And I'm going to tell my mentor and that's it. Fuck you guys. Yeah. And like, with all due respect, fuck you guys. And I'm just going to do it. And so I could still be myself. They stopped me from making videos. I started a podcast. At first, it was only audio. Then I was like, fuck it. I don't care what anybody thinks anymore. I'm already kicked off and shit. Let's just do this video too. Here we are. Anthony's like, let's do it twice a week. I'm like, yo, I'm moving to Vegas. Anthony's like, cool. We're going to keep doing the podcast.
We'll do our best. I know we haven't been doing the bestest of latest, but we will keep aiming for twice a week.
Okay. I think we're doing our best. Considering what we're both doing stuff, I think we're doing our best. And our best to keep it going is good enough for keeping it going. It's not good enough for getting it to where it wants to be and what I want it to become, but it's good enough to keep it going, which is good enough for now. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There'll be a time where it's no longer acceptable, but for today, what we've done until today was enough, because here we are today.
Yep.
Here we are. And yeah, I'm extraordinarily grateful to you, bro. And that's why I don't want to just build this thing for me. I want to build this thing for you because of your support of me. Watching me lose everything. Watching me shift. Change gears. Like, I couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more fucking grateful. And so, like, if I ever eat off of these words, love and chokes, you will be eating next to me. Or, you know, somewhere remote.
Depends on how
but off the same check, dog.
I appreciate
That's
that.
all I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to be sitting right next to me.
Right next to me, chained up. Here, you eat here, dog. You eat here now. You eat my scraps. No. I get it. I understand. I appreciate it. I truly appreciate it.
That's how I feel. That's
so funny.
It is funny.
It is.
But yeah, essentially, guys, look, I think my friends deserve to see me successful. And successful in that definition. Successful in the sense that I need more caloric energy to bring more things to the people I care about who care about me. And those calories I call money. Don't get mad.
Vegetables.
Don't get mad. You won't notice any change. You won't see me looking different. That's what happened last time, Anthony.
Oh, is that what happened last time? Really?
Oh, yeah, dude. When I started doing good, all of a sudden I had a Nordstrom's card.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about this. Like, you have clothes
What
that
the fuck?
You have clothes.
What the fuck do I need a Nordstrom's card? Look what I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing a plain t-shirt and some free shorts, motherfucker.
What a hole in it.
And that's what I'm going to be wearing. That's what I'm going to be wearing on the fucking Spanish Riviera. That's what I'll be wearing on the French Riviera, too. And when I'm fucking your mom's, I'll be wearing the same shit.
Everything will be the same.
I'm gonna dress up to impress your auntie, dog. I don't have to do that.
My success will.
That's what they have to do. I don't have to do that. I don't need fancy shit. I need the energy to do the shit I want to do in this world whenever I want to do it. That's what I need. I don't need stuff. I don't need people who like stuff. I don't need that. I will never have a cool car because I can barely drive one. Like the rest of you motherfuckers, by the way. You can't drive your car either, dog. Get over yourself. You can barely drive. You almost crash your car every day. You're not Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt should have a fucking 911 Porsche. You should not. Because you can't drive the motherfucker. Now, if you can drive the motherfucker, then buy the motherfucker. But if you know in your heart of hearts, you're not truly whipping on a high level, then why do you have a high performance car? Because A, you think it's fun, respect, but B, you want to impress other fucking people with your whip. And B is probably A. Keep it real. Keep it a buck. B is probably A. You probably want to impress people more than you even enjoy the vehicle itself, unless you're a true gearhead. Unless you're a true gearhead, you can't tell me details about how this car works. Why the fuck are you spending all this money on it? You should have bought the Accord. You should have bought the Accord. But cool, Daddy. You drive whatever you want. You drive whatever you want.
Or buy like the the Toyota supercars. That way it's still like reasonable, but it's not crazy expensive. Like it's like instead of getting like a $10,000, $20,000 car. All right.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like just go crazy. Go crazy with the Japanese.
My CRV.
A Japanese.
My 2000 CRV. I'm saving up for.
Ooh. They are pretty good. They are pretty good. The CRVs.
I'm kidding. I actually don't know what I'm saving up for. I don't know what kind of car it's gonna be. I don't know what it's going to be. But I would like to get a car soon.
Yeah.
So I will. Yeah.
Ooh, means Darren's getting his license. Ooh.
October 5th.
Really?
The appointment is... Yeah,
nice.
dude,
Congrats.
The appointment's set. Now, guess when I set that appointment?
Today? Was it like 2 weeks ago?
I set that appointment. This is no bullshit. I set that appointment in July.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because of fucking COVID, the very first date available was October 5th. Isn't that fucking nuts?
Actually, that makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. Because they're letting people drive without with suspended licenses for a while.
Yeah, because you can't get in to do anything about it.
So that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. That's good.
It's like, what are you going to do? Let people not go to work? Because they can't schedule an appointment in a reasonable period of time? You can't. You literally can't do it.
That's true.
So they have to make concessions. It's a wild world, Anthony. The world that we're in right now is fucking wild.
It is. It really is. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I am sleepy.
No, dude. People get sleepy. It's okay.
But it is a weird world. Football's happening today.
Really?
Football, yeah. I think today's who is it? It's the Kansas City Chiefs versus who are they fighting?
I love that you said fighting.
It's all.
Who are the Kansas City Chiefs fighting?
Oh,
Houston, like nobody.
Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. So that's what's going. That's what's going on today. They start at 8:20. Kickoff's 8:20. So the Super Bowl champs of the last year versus the Houston Texans. That's gonna be. I'm kind of interested. See what's going to happen this year. This year will be the best year to invest in betting. Don't bet, but invest in people who do bet.
What does that mean?
So, like, all the services that are now doing, like, online betting and whatnot, this will be the best time to get into them because, like, now that all the sports are back and you still can't really do stuff, like, some places don't really get to have their, like, there's no college football. Like, there's no Big 12 this year. So, no Ohio State. No Michigan State.
Ohio State's in the Big Ten.
Big Ten, whatever it is. That's all the same to me. It's not numbers. The big numbers.
The big numbers aren't happening.
The big numbers aren't happening this year. So if they're not happening, everybody's going to be super into NFL this year. And so imagine those betting lines are going to go crazy.
Okay, and so you're saying they're going to be pouring more money into these entities, right?
Yeah, those entities.
To create their bets. And so, if you were to invest in these entities, that would be a good idea.
That's my
These
idea.
are things like BetDSI, DraftKings, shit like this.
Yeah, I think so. I think DraftKings might be the only one that's public. Let me see who else does online betting.
Anthony with the hot scoops.
That's honestly what's happening. Like I should have done it when I was like my whole thing now is when this crash does happen again, which I hope it does. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. I think I'm starting to have the millionaire mindset where you're like, I just see people as numbers. They're just all numbers to me. They're just ones and zeros. And so
Anthony, don't turn dark on me, bro.
But all I'm saying is that
go full dark. I don't care.
I'm just saying the only things you should do is invest in things like that are sins, like weed, all gambling spots, all alcohol, guns. I don't know if guns are a sin, but violence is a sin.
It's like, look, if the devil likes it,
yeah,
so does the dollar.
Exactly.
And that's all you need to know.
I can get really dark.
Put your dollar in the darkness with the devil.
Yeah, pretty much. If you want to see people's baser instincts, then bet in those times where people are gonna be miserable, broke, and trying to do bad things to themselves. Yeah, that's the things you should invest in.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I fuck with it. I fuck with it on paper.
Yeah. Morally.
But I wouldn't want to take full advantage of it in the sense of like seeing it as the darkness that you presented. So like, if we're putting weed in the sin, I'll invest in weed. Yeah. I wouldn't feel comfortable investing in gambling, even though I know there are people who lose their minds and their money on weed, right? Yeah. Because they're just people.
Yeah, it has to.
It's like there's people who lose their mind because they start eating toilet paper.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's no substance or action that you can have in this world without someone getting completely fucked up because of it or on it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, even though I recognize that, I feel cleaner about weed than I do about gambling.
Yeah.
But I don't judge gamblers. I don't feel like you gamble so you're bad. Or I've gambled. It was fucking fun.
Yeah.
I'll do it again. But if I was like truly invested in it, I'd feel like I was on their team. Like I'm literally rooting for the house.
Yeah.
And that seems like the wrong thing to do for me. I shouldn't be rooting for the house. But maybe, see, here's the thing though. Maybe it's that mindset that had me giving away water and shit at the beginning of this podcast.
I was just gonna say, hey, the house invests in cheaters, and the cheaters like you. So if the cheaters like you,
Anthony, you're right. Step 1, invest in the house.
Yeah, invest in the house. Step 2, invest in the cheaters that cheat the house.
Yeah.
And step 3, profit.
That's the same formula as the underpants gnomes from South Park. I caught you there.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
I don't know the underpants gnomes.
Just how you think.
Not from South Park. I only know that from what's it called? What's that? Is Clerks. I only know that from Clerks.
Okay.
Yeah, I only know that from Clerks.
Yeah, so in that South Park episode, it featured
a
tiny group of gnomes.
Yeah.
Gnomes called the underpants gnomes.
Mm.
And it's kind of obvious what underpants gnomes would do. They creep into your room at night while singing a little song, and they steal your underpants, and they go back to their home. And it was all part of a serious, serious plot. Step 1, collect underpants.
Mm-hmm.
Step 2, I don't know. Step 3, profit.
Profit.
That was their literal plan. But step 2 doesn't truly matter, Anthony. You know why? We're still on step 1. You know?
Exactly.
We're collecting these underpants. Step 1, collect underpants.
That's
but what's step 2?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it yet.
What's step 3? Profit.
Money.
It's like, literally, that's business. That's how most businesses work and don't work. It's why they fail. It's why I failed. It's step 1, collect underpants. Step 2, I don't really know. We'll just kind of see it, figure it out. Step 3, profit. It's like, no, I think you're gonna die. I think you're gonna fail.
Yeah. No,
and the worst thing that happens is you don't fail for a while.
Yeah, that is the worst part.
For a while, you don't need step 2.
Step 1 feels great. Just keep going. Oh, man.
Oh, shit. That's hilarious. All right, so while we're discussing like thoughts about business, I think it's a good time to bring up Sean O'Malley.
Ooh, yeah.
Sean O'Malley is sponsored by Sensible, right? That's how you say that company's name?
I think so.
See? Now that's an important thing to point out right there. I don't even know how to say these motherfuckers' names. Now, they haven't been around in the limelight for that long. I feel like they're a fucking underdog story, right? It's like they kind of came out of nowhere as a brand. It's kind of like what Champion did. It's like Champion was in the fucking Walmart, and then all these hip hop kids started rocking it, right? Sensible was like a budget brand on Amazon, as far as I'm concerned. Are you following me? Do you agree with this?
I don't know. I don't know the history of it, but I'm gonna take it.
I think it was. I feel like if you looked up their gear, it was cheap, like money wise. I'm not saying it was cheaply made. I'm saying you could afford it. It was very affordable gear, and so you started seeing it around. You started seeing people rocking it. But I think it was literal economics. What does a Sensible gi cost right now?
Let's see. Let's go to Jiu-Jitsu.
That'll point it out. I think it's still cheap.
Oh yeah, they're super cheap. It's
What's their base level gi?
Their base level. Let's see. I see. All right, I'm gonna go with their Ultra Essential version 2 is $60.
Boom.
Yeah.
The average gi in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is $100 motherfucking dollars.
Yeah.
So you're now 40% under these motherfuckers. So that's the company as I identify it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
When I think of that name, I think decent product, cheap price. Right? Then they started partnering with fighters. They started branding with fighters. They started getting Michael Bisping.
Alan Jouban.
Whatever. Respect to Alan Jouban. No one gives a fuck.
Right. I mean...
Just respect. Like, respect.
Well,
no one knows who he is unless you're a hardcore.
Well, I'm saying in terms of...
Bisping got that belt. He's on podcasts and shit. In a sense, he's as close to a household name as one can get who's not from here. Like, or who's not Conor.
Right. I'm just wondering.
He was on Ultimate Fighter. He's been in the game for a while on big platforms for that company. People know his name. He's commentated fights. Alan Jouban is on the UFC when he is on the UFC.
Right. No, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm just saying in terms of, and I don't know how true this is still, if he's still modeling and whatnot, but in terms of, like, you know, the contracts that he has to sign.
Yes, yes. He's a beautiful man.
Well, no. I'm saying I'm trying to, like, price point.
He's like a Versace
price
model
point.
Or something, right?
Yeah, but price point. I'm saying price point wise, to be able to afford him to be able to, you know, be a person of ambassador of your brand.
It's not the same thing though. It's a different lane with less money available. So Versace is gonna have more money available because they're talking to more people than Sensible.
That's true.
So as long as you're offering something comparable in the market, he should still take it. He should still take it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if he's getting high offer considering the source, if he just gets straight lowballs considering the source, you say, fuck you guys. Right? But if they overpay you up front, then maybe the relationship can't last that long because they'll have that with everybody they try to get. You know, you overpay up front and then you go out of business.
They even have some pretty interesting stuff too.
Sean O'Malley.
Yes.
Just put out some gloves.
Yes.
With Sensible, right? So the reality is Sensible put out gloves that are like signature gloves for Sean O'Malley.
Mm-hmm.
Are they called like a signature series?
Let's see.
What are they called?
Let me go to their website again and find them because they were.
People like phrases like that. It's like our Pro Series or our Signature Series, Custom Series.
I gotta find the link again because it was hard to find when I first looked it up. Let's see.
But they've apparently sold out of these gloves, right?
That is correct. They
made X amount of gloves, and they sold out of all of the gloves, which is a great accomplishment. It's a fantastic accomplishment. That's one way to do business. One way to do business is to pair yourself with a company, create a product with that company, or have that company create a product and you sign off on it. And then you guys put it out and you get a check. That's pretty neat. I think it's cooler to make your own shit. I think it's cooler instead of me being like, you know, it'll be really dope if I paired up with Sensible and got like a signature gi that was like the Keebler tree gi and it had a little tree on it, a little tiny black eye on it. That would be cute, and like we'll put that out. And then if I sold out of it, I'd be like, oh, cool, it's sold out. But you know what I would really think?
What?
If I sold out, I'd be like, man, why do I have the smaller end of this check?
Jesus Christ.
Just after I popped for how happy I was for the fact that it sold out, my very next thought would be, why did I make this with them instead of just with me? Did they truly move these products? Or was it me that moved these products? And if it's me, if I can discern that it is me, that it's within my numbers, within my means, right? And what I decide is my numbers. I think 1% of your total followership is who buys your shit. 1% of the people that follow you will buy your shit. If you put it out quarterly, they'll buy it. It's just a guess, but I really think that 1% of the people that fuck with you will buy something from you quarterly if you have something new. They won't buy everything you put out if you put out a new product every week, because they can't afford to do that. But if you put out one thing per season, they might fuck with you. 1% of the people that follow you. So they put out 200 pairs of gloves. How many followers on Instagram does Sean O'Malley have?
Hold on 1 second.
It's a quick math problem. We're gonna see.
Yeah, so
if that's within.
That is definitely within it. He has a million followers.
So that's within the 1%. So that means he could probably do 1,000 gloves.
Yeah, probably easily.
He could probably do 1,000 gloves. Let's be conservative. Let's do 250 gloves. Let's be even more conservative. Let's do exactly what the fuck you just did. Let's wait a season, because those people already have their gloves. Some of those gloves will wear out. Some of those people will need new gloves.
I mean, honestly what I think happened to them, because I'm looking online, I'm seeing like a lot of them are going up for resale for something upwards of $500.
Well, there's always that market, right?
Yeah, but
people that are going to test the resale market, because they don't know yet if anybody wants that glove bad enough to pay $5.
Somebody
they don't know yet.
A couple people
they're gonna find out.
A couple people do. They've been commenting on the site saying these gloves were great. I made $200+ off these gloves. I made $300.
That's why they're great. Yeah. So like, it's like you gotta figure out. You gotta figure that out for yourself.
That's crazy.
We'll see. We'll see. But what I'm saying is, Sean's gotta ask himself, what if I made 200 gloves with a partner who is just a manufacturer? And then I found a way to distribute them myself. Would I make more money if I did it that way? Is it within my means to do that?
So yeah, probably.
I would answer all those things with resounding yeses. Now, if you don't have 1 million followers, if you've got 2,000 followers and they say, hey, we're going to pair up with you, we're going to make 200 gloves, we're pretty sure that we can sell them. Man, that's a great opportunity. But if you're selling these gloves because you have 1 million opportunities to make a sale, and they're only asking you to move 200 pieces, and they're going to take the lion's share of the money,
it's crazy.
I don't know if there's any reason to pop the champagne.
I mean, I'm just
saying.
Let's even go a little bit crazier.
Popping the champagne is something I would do, which means it's wrong. That's all I'm saying. I would have been like, oh, we did it! We sold all the gloves! And then someone would be like, yeah, we should probably do that ourselves.
Let's see how many... I'm just curious to see how many people would join online to watch and play video games. Twitch, Sugar Sean. Because he does that too. So that would be a bigger...
So by the same math, let's make it about like real numbers for you and I right now. Mm-hmm. Right? So by my theory, I would say there are 15 to 16 people who will buy something that I put out quarterly.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right.
Right? And I'm saying that's I believe that price point is around $20. I think if I put out something that is $20 quarterly, there are 15 people who will buy it. They're not necessarily the same 15 people every time. And sometimes it might be 20, sometimes it might be 30, and sometimes it might be 10.
Right.
I think if you average it out over the course of the year, it's going to be I made 15 sales quarterly, period.
Yeah.
Because of my current followership, right? I think I should be doing that right now. And if I'm not doing that right now, I think I'm dumb as fuck. I don't think there's ever a reason not to do that. I think if I do that, I can slowly build what I want to build into something bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Instead of being like, well, one day I'll do it. There's no reason I shouldn't sell 15 t-shirts.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to wait until I think I can sell 100 to start selling them.
Yeah.
But I also shouldn't make 500 shirts.
Yeah.
Because I don't have 500 fucking people that give a fuck about me. Not that long, like not the long way. There have been 30 people watching this podcast. That's free. Now that's twice as many as should be watching it, because I'm going platform to platform, right? Yeah. So 1,500 people are following me on Instagram. 30 people are watching this podcast. There's 600 people who are subscribers of this channel.
Mm-hmm.
So the percentage is higher than it really should be.
Yeah.
It's higher than it should be, man. So it's like, 1% of the people that watch the podcast is 6 people. 6 people that watch the podcast should buy a shirt. 15 people that follow on Instagram should buy a shirt. Now we're at 21 shirts.
Yeah.
I don't think this is crazy.
And you actually have a real life. That's the other thing too. Like you actually have like a real life presence. That's way different than your social media presence. It's like how many shirts did you actually sell when we went to like Fuji? Like I think you probably sold like.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, like you actually sold.
But like strangers.
Yeah.
Strangers are like, I need that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? They don't know anything about me. They saw something about the phrase. It resonated. They wanted it. There's just not enough people that know about it.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, they're going to decide, because of the way the culture is right now, they have to decide if they're going to fuck with me too.
That's true.
Because they don't want to just fuck with the words. They want to do a background check on everybody. Do I fuck with that guy? Is that guy a good guy?
Well, I mean,
is he bad?
I mean, not necessarily, actually.
Newsflash. I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm also good.
Not necessarily, honestly.
Why?
It depends on how you sell it. Because if I bring out my Star Wars Armbar shirt, nobody's gonna recognize that as that's a guy. They recognize it as a cultural icon. If it's cool stuff on a shirt, people will just buy it. Like it doesn't have to resonate with anything. Like I buy shirts with pictures of them all the time.
True, but that's different because that brand, using that term fucking loosely, no offense, is BJJT's that put out that shirt that you're talking about. I have that same shirt actually.
Right.
But they're spinning off of Star Wars. So when you see that shirt, you think of Star Wars and jiu-jitsu, but you don't think of BJJT's.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm asking people to do is buy a shirt that has Love and Chokes on it.
Yeah.
That is like, so I'm not asking people to buy a Love and Choke shirt that has CM Punk on it.
Right. I get what you're saying.
I'm saying, will you buy a Love and Chokes t-shirt? Not do you fuck with CM Punk. Not do you like Star Wars and do jiu-jitsu. Do you fuck with me?
But
do you fuck with this idea?
I get what you're saying, but it does the brand Love and Chokes and you are not necessarily synonymous. It's like
yes, and they shouldn't be.
Yeah, and so
they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is the right execution. I'm saying this is what I've done so far.
Right. Well,
I don't think it worked.
No, I get that. I'm saying that like I get what you're saying. I agree with you. I guess we're both.
We should make that CM Punk shirt tomorrow.
I don't know about that. We gotta talk to some lawyers.
No, we'll just fucking DM CM Punk.
Oh yeah.
We'll be like, yeah, you do jiu-jitsu, I do jiu-jitsu, blah 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 blah. I did some bumps, I did some matches. Yeah. I need the fucking thing. Your wife is super pretty. Yeah. Have a nice day.
If Bert Kreischer can't make his Mickey Mantle shirt, I don't know if we're gonna make CM Punk shirt.
Alright, fine. But you think they gave the fucking okay to George Lucas? You think George Lucas had a chance to sign off on that fucking armbar shirt?
Of course not, because he's.
Punk's gonna have to understand. You're gonna have to forgive that when I was fucking down and out for a second and had no money, I made a T-shirt with your likeness, and like one day we'll be friends, you know, and we'll laugh about this. But don't you fucking sue me, Punk.
That's all I gotta worry about. Is like some people are cutthroat. Like I said, like remember how you want to be that business cutthroat guy, or at least have not have that same sentiments. Those guys might not have that same sentiments already. It depends.
Look, you gotta keep a little bit of the ethic, though.
I guess.
Right? You gotta keep a little bit of the ethic. Like, your name is CM Punk. You know what, Punk? You know what DIY shit is, some of it's stolen, dog. Just let me have your gimmick. Just for a second, I'll give it right back. You're not even using it, Phil. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, dog. Fuck. Why you gotta be a dick about it?
Don't worry about it, Phil.
Theoretically.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh,
what?
It's just this.
I used this shoot name.
I know, it's just like the way you said, just don't worry about it, Phil.
I'm just pointing out that CM Punk barely exists right now. There's just this dude named Phil who's awesome at making comics and probably good to his wife. And he used to be a really good wrestler.
Yeah.
Now he's a dude named Phil.
Yeah.
For a while, I was a dude named Darren. I barely did jiu-jitsu.
There you go.
I do jiu-jitsu again, though.
Are you still a dude named Darren?
I don't even know anymore.
You said, I'm just that guy. I'm just that dude. That's who I am. I'm just that guy.
No, I am. I'm not going to be weird and change my name or anything. Like, I've unfriended people in real life for going that route. Like, and then sometimes I'll keep you. Somehow, if you change your name to a name, I will fuck with you. If you change your name to a concept, we're no longer friends, dog. Like I'll tell you this. I once had a friend who had a name, and then he decided his name was Tree Music. When Tree Music tried to be my friend, I wasn't friends with him anymore. I don't judge the dude with resentment. I just judge the fact that I no longer wanted to be a friend of someone who didn't have a name. If you have a name that is a name, I can fuck with you. But once you decide your name is a thing or some abstract concept, I'm like, yo, dog, I can be abstractly your friend. Like, I can remember how, like, fun you were when you had a name and not hate you, but never talk to you again. It's just an abstract way of being your friend.
That's so funny.
I can do that. It's a nice thing to be able to do, Anthony.
That's so
fucking
funny.
Tree Music.
Tree Music.
God damn it, bro. Like, can you imagine having a conversation with someone that you really like and then being like, yo, you know, just these constructs, bro. I gotta shake it off, change my name.
Well, I'm going to say, like, that sounds like some wild stuff. But I'm also going to try to quell those thoughts of the past by showing you thoughts of the recent past of some interesting fights that happened.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, do you know about Michael Pereira?
I do. He's coached by a guy I like a lot. He's cornered by James Gray, who's from Michigan, who I don't know if he's using the moniker anymore, but at one point he was being known as the Phenom. Because like a couple years into doing jiu-jitsu, he was tapping out black belts like it wasn't no thing.
Really?
And yeah.
Nice.
And he's like essentially self-taught, and like he's kind of controversial because like no one would train him basically.
Oh, really?
And he made up his own belt system called Scorpion Fighting Systems, and like, gave himself a black belt. But like that makes him controversial.
That's awesome.
But it actually is awesome because it's legit. Like, I watched him tap black belts in tournaments in front of my fucking face. It wasn't like some setup thing on YouTube or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't like, he was like, yo, I gotta get a black belt, $1,000. I'll tap him. I'll say I did it. And then everybody will be like, ooh, he did it. I'll train with him. It's like, no, bro. He's out here whooping people. And he was on the Contender Series. Like, he's a real fighter. He's a real motherfucker.
That's hilarious. I like that.
I love it, too. I love it.
Scorpion belt.
At one point, he brought in a Brazilian jiu-jitsu person. I won't name him because I'm not trying to bury anybody. But and they had like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu, like a formal program. I don't know what that's going on at his school now. Now that I've moved out here, I've lost touch with what's happening in the Midwest because I'm not on Facebook and shit. But I saw that he was out here and I was super psyched. I saw that at the weigh-in, this dude slapped Michael.
Let me see if it's true.
And Michael's a dude who's a wild dude. He's literally...
Oh, yeah. Hold on, you're cutting out. Let's see if you come back. There you go.
It's in and out, isn't it?
Yeah, now you should be back now, hopefully.
Yes, here I am. Michael Pereira executed a moonsault in real life in the UFC. A moonsault is a backflip off of an object. He jumped off the cage, did a backflip, and tried to land on a motherfucker. He's one of the wildest fighters you will ever watch. I'm not saying he's the best. He's certainly not the worst. But he's definitely one of the most exciting. And this dude chose to slap him at the weigh-in. So Michael let him know. Michael's like, yo, I got a slap waiting for you, dog. And as soon as he had him in range, he throws a jab and an open hand slap. Like, whack! Slapped this motherfucker in the face and went on to win the fight.
Gave him a kiss.
That is revenge. And I see that dude more as an artist than a fighter. I feel like he's a performance artist who can fight.
Yeah.
And I'm with it. More power to him. And shout out to James Gray and your whole clique. Shout out to your whole clique over there at Scorpion Fighting System. I have a lot of fucking respect for those guys.
I want a Scorpion belt now. I want to have a Scorpion belt now. That just sounds super cool. Like, even though it sounds...
Dude, I want a Scorpion belt.
Even if it's just like a blue belt Scorpion belt, I want one just because, like, just to say I have one. Like, yeah, I have, you know.
I'm also a blue belt in Scorpion Fighting System.
What?
Black belt under Royler Gracie, blue belt in Scorpion Fighting System.
Exactly.
And let somebody talk shit. I don't give a Frenchman's fuck. I'll go get belted right now, dog. I'll go train and get belted.
That is the best thing ever. Other thing that's happening, the fraud, as I like to call him. I will say it. I will say this is my opinion and nobody else's. I need an expert opinion from a college wrestler to watch some film with me and to give me a perspective. So, if anybody's out there that wants to, help me prove that America still has the best wrestling in the world and the best grappling in the world, come holla at your boy, because we can prove that together. Because I think this guy is not some monster grappler that like everybody says. I think this guy has great wrestling for MMA, and I think he hits really hard.
Well, isn't that what we're doing?
Well, I agree, but everybody's like, this guy is an animal. We're gonna give him to Damian Maia if he we're gonna book him 2 fights in advance. We already have him booked out. If you beat this guy, you get Damian Maia. And this guy Gerald.
Look. You sound like every other hating ass motherfucker on the internet that's mad that they booked him twice. Is that why you're mad at me?
I'm not mad they booked him twice. I'm mad at who they booked him against.
Why?
It's because it's like, this is like whatever you think's gonna happen is not gonna be that fight for if he goes through Gerald. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I won't go through it. Gerald, whatever his name is, and in September, and then fights Damian Maia. The fight's not gonna go the way you want it to. Either it's gonna be a very ugly fight where it's gonna seem very much Tyron Woodley-esque, where it's gonna be stuffing takedowns and punching this dude in the face, where you're not going to see this dominant.
You don't think he would engage Damian Maia on the ground? Is that what you're saying?
Hell no. Hell no.
So, if he did engage him, it's a fight you'd want to see.
It's a fight I'd want to see.
You're thinking, your psychology is, okay, say he gets by homeboy. I think we're both assuming he does.
Yeah,
right?
We're both.
For the record, I believe even if he doesn't, that other fight's still on.
Yeah.
So he's fighting twice.
Yeah.
He's the first fighter in UFC history, in my opinion, and I'm almost certain that this is true. I'm trying to remember exactly what Dana White said. I believe that Dana White said he wants to fight this often. He wants to fight twice. I'll play his game. I'm booking him twice.
Yeah.
And people are mad about it. Let him be mad. I'm willing. He said, if this guy wants to do this, I'm willing to play his game. And so, Dana's having an experiment right now.
Yeah.
Much like there were experiments done with other fighters. How to push a guy, what's appropriate, what will work, what won't work. And so, I don't think the guy is so special necessarily. He appears to be so far.
Yeah.
But it's an opportunity for Dana to try out a different model. Can this work? It's a real question. Is this even a possibility? Can I book a guy twice? And does the outcome matter? If he loses the first one, that's the most interesting outcome possible. Just like analytics-wise. The most interesting thing would be for him to lose and then beat Damian Maia.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, I agree.
That's the weirdest, most interesting thing that could possibly happen. Him to lose this fight against Mr. So-and-so, apologies, and for him to defeat Damian Maia in dramatic fashion. Because what the fuck would you do with him then? That's an interesting puzzle for the UFC to have to solve. I don't believe they'll have to solve it. I think he gets past the first gentleman for no real reason. Just being straight up.
No, I agree with you on that. I think it's going to be an ugly fight.
I think he gets past the first gentleman, and then I think it is possible that he can get past Damian Maia if he only focuses on really basic ideas. Like, if he tries to get on top of Damian and maul him and shit, I think that might be hard. If he uses some effective strikes to try to hurt Damian and in small moments toward the end of rounds, take him down and just control his hips. So, I'm talking the last 20, 30 seconds
yes.
of a round. I think he can win that fight. I don't think there's a reason to try to demonstrate that you can defeat him on the floor by being progressive, and by progressive, I mean, I take you down, I pass your guard, I mount you, I beat the fuck out of you. Right?
Yeah.
Unless you truly believe your skill level is that high. I don't know that that's true. It is a possibility. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
I'm open to the idea that people who are successful in one form of grappling don't necessarily have the upper hand against every form of grappler. That there's still different ways that bodies fit together, different skill sets that people have, and I haven't analyzed either one of these guys. And analysis isn't my strongest game. Even though I feel like that's fucking changing rapidly. It changed a lot today, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so I trained today. Full disclosure, I trained today. I won't say where or with who. And for the first time, I noticed something really, really serious about the way that I choose to play jiu-jitsu. Something that's extraordinarily broken about how I play jiu-jitsu for the last several years. I've played jiu-jitsu from the perspective of a person who is just a teacher of the things he already knows and who's exploring ideas in a very open way. In a way that's like, the way that I described it was, I was training with a man today, and the man, well, I'm seated in my guard. And this is, if you're not a jiu-jitsu person, fucking fast forward. Or cut the podcast off now. I don't give a fuck. I love you. He grabbed my pants, like near my ankle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, what I normally would have done, if you were a lower level than me, significantly lower, I would just kind of let you grab it and start moving toward a guard pass. And let you pass my guard. And then as you pin me, I would escape. Because now we're both training. I would let you get a guard pass on me, as long as you didn't do anything utterly ridiculous. And then I would actually try to escape. And maybe you're capable of holding me if you do it well, and maybe you're not, right? But I would give you moments where you could basically do whatever the fuck you wanted to me. Then, sometimes, I would break that grip and reset, and then let you do whatever you wanted in a different beat. If you chose the same beat, I would just keep tearing the grip off, tear the grip off, tear the grip off, until you got bored enough to do something else. That's how I used to play. Today, I was like, I'm not doing that. Today I broke the grip, took an arm drag, took another grip, took something else, took something else, took something else, took something else, won. Today I just decided I was going to play that way. I wish I had made that choice earlier in my life. Whatever. What were we talking about before that?
Wow. Talking about analyzing film against Khamzat and Gerald and Damian Maia.
Yeah, but the different styles may not be congruent to work in Damian's favor. Maybe there's a position that he likes, that Khamzat likes, that Damian's not good at solving. That is possible. People act like you win a bunch of world titles or you've beaten some people in MMA and you can't get, like, oh, no, you're just a great grappler. Yeah, like, in whatever positions you're a great grappler in.
Yeah.
But everybody has holes or spaces they're not excellent at. If someone was able to be in your space and that was their game, if my game is the weakest spot of yours and I am capable and excellent at bringing you to that spot, it's going to be a shitty day for you.
No, I agree.
BJ Penn got finished on the ground. Let's not fuck, like, what the fuck are we talking about here? These things are possible. We have seen them happen. And then we act like, nah, can't be. Damian Maia, blah, blah, blah.
I get what you're saying, but better wrestlers have chosen not to wrestle with him. Better grapplers have grappled with him.
Those are their choices.
But they have grappled with him, and then they have gotten screwed.
I get it. Like, he mollywopped. Who did he mollywop? He mollywopped Chael.
Chael, Ben Askren.
He dropped Chael on his head. And
Yeah.
killed him.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He tried to kill my unk. My big unk. He tried to kill my big unk, dog. That son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You know what? Next time I see Damian Maia, I'm fucking shake his hand and be polite.
So nice to meet you, sir. Teach me your
not to get brutally murdered.
Murdered.
That's a mixture. That's if you get murkled to death.
Murkled. Yeah.
More for the grapplers, more for the wrestlers.
But
less for the folk. More for the folk.
But I'm saying is that Damian Maia has this weird thing where he turns a lot of dudes who are really good at wrestling into like, oh, you're in my world now, my son. You're in my world. I will take you.
No, you're in his fucking bag. Like, look, it's not like he can't counter wrestle. I don't think his wrestling is excellent.
No, it's
I think
not.
his counter wrestling is pretty good.
His counter wrestling is great, and that's where he succeeds in.
But like him shooting in on someone who's good at wrestling,
never happening. Never.
It's not gonna,
yeah.
Unless he gets new technology. Like, look, dog, I had to change my technology.
It's not happening. It's not happening. I mean, you could change your technology because it's different for you.
See how wide my eyes are?
I get it. It's different for you than it is for him.
Why?
because there's like
he's better than me.
But yeah, he's better at you. But because he's better than you, that's a lot of reason why it won't change.
Dog, you gotta get those titties out and them hips in.
I'm just telling you, a lot of reasons.
He's out here reaching.
A lot of reasons why.
He had the titties and the hips.
A lot of reasons why he's better than you is the same reasons why he won't change. Nope.
Respect.
Yeah. So like, my point is this: is that I could see it being very similar to the good parts of the Ben Askren fight for Ben Askren, where he was just point fighting him up, and he'll probably hurt Damian because this dude hits hard. He hits really hard. He'll probably crack him, and
bring yourself back to my screen.
Oh, am I not? Okay, yeah, bring it back. I don't know why I shared this screen to you still.
It's okay. I'm still with you.
Yeah, but basically it's gonna be he probably will crack him, but if he goes any type of shot, I don't see it being anything good for this guy because of what I seem to be his grappling.
What do you think happens? He shoots in and gets guillotined. He shoots in and gets swept.
I see him. It's either he shoots in. They have a scramble. He ends up on top, then gets swept.
Honestly, I don't know why more motherfuckers don't get swept right off takedowns. Like, it should happen more often.
You think so?
Yes. I think that there's times where people realize they've given up their hips, and instead of thinking that they can off-balance this person, they're like, fuck, I gotta make sure they don't get side control and shit.
Yeah.
So they just lock their legs around them instead of trying to sweep them.
Or do you want to talk about for MMA or just in general?
In general, but I was thinking about MMA when we were talking.
I'm thinking cage walking is the big factor. Everybody gets is either if they're not going for they're immediately immediately trying to sit on their butt, and
which is smart.
Yeah, and walk into the cage. I feel like that's the other reason.
I'm just feeling like those empty space takedowns when someone gets run up and like someone doubles them and they get ran, right? It's like, wait a second. It's because you keep defending and they beat you already. Like, if I get beat, I'm going to look for a hook.
I'm disappearing, yeah.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. But, I don't know. I think
the game is to be sold, Daddy, not told. I'm out here telling. I'm out here letting you into my thinking process. That's a valuable thing.
I know.
That's going to cost you, Daddy.
Of course.
That's going to cost you.
It costs everybody.
Here, little sister, it's going to cost you. Mama, you ain't exempt. It costs you too. Auntie, cuz, y'all.
Everybody.
Unk.
Everybody, everyone, all those people.
And them. That's all you have to say. If you're black, you have to name a person and say and them. And it basically means everyone. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And them, yeah.
I'm going to go see Bill and them.
It means all of them. Everybody.
I'm going to see everybody. I'm going to see everybody. That could be the whole world. That could be the entire world. Anthony?
Yes.
It's been a lovely podcast.
It has been.
Due to the fact that I have a class to teach, I need to disengage from the internet and prepare for said class.
How much time do you have to chat?
Enough.
Okay. Cool.
That's why it must end.
Cool.
But I appreciate you, man. Publicly.
Thank
and
you.
We'll discuss big business privately.
I agree.
One more time, shout out to fucking my first coach and my close friend Donald Park. Happy birthday, cuz. Happy birthday, brother. Love you to the moon and back. Internet, I love you too. Each and every one of you motherfuckers. You beautiful motherfuckers. Even the ugly ones. I love you too. I probably love you the most. For now, I bid you adieu. Goodbye, Internet. XOXO. Anthony, this is not goodbye for real. Just kill the